How has lockdown been for you, and has it made it harder to access MS services?
Lockdown for me has been okay. I I hadn't started my treatment. There was delay after delay, and then with lockdown, I thought it would cause further delay. I mean, it did slightly, but also once I was set up with the MS team, and they were really great actually with um, calling me and discussing the treatments, and then my new neurologist, who again I haven't met. This is all over the phone, so he contacted me, and it moved quite quickly from once we discussed the treatments. So I've started my treatment during lockdown, and I've been able to speak to my nurses regularly. If I feel
Yeah.
I have any questions or anything, they're there. I can call them, and they're always responsive. If they're busy, they'll call me back and stuff. So yeah, I've found it hasn't really limited my access to it. The treatment that I'm on is Tecfidera, so it's tablets, and I get them delivered by post to or by courier to me once a month. I had my next delivery yesterday, so it's very well planned, I think, and organised. I haven't had any issues, and lockdown's been a roller coaster a bit, up and down, but it just I've kind of loved it because I would never give myself this much rest ever. um, so yeah, I've let my body rest. I've noticed my MS symptoms aren't as bad at the moment. Some days when I'm feeling a bit stressed, and if I've worn myself out, if I've gone for a run and done a workout and stuff the day before, then I'll feel tired and like a bit more, I wouldn't say lethargic, but yeah, I'm just a bit more lazy the next day. But yeah, other than that, I've found it okay. It's not been too bad for me.
Mine's been a bit crazy because I got diagnosed at the start of lockdown, and initially I wasn't contacted, I wasn't given any treatment. I was sort of like, okay, here's your diagnosis, there you go, kind of thing. And mine was just generally because I was with a private hospital, and then I was transferring over to an NHS doctor. So I wasn't actually sure when I would be, seen, or an MS nurse would be, signed up to me. So initially I kind of was like, right, I've got this diagnosis. It's just, a new vocabulary, added into my world, and I was fine. And then, I was continuing with work, but working from home. And then I got a really bad relapse, and boom, like I needed to see someone, and I didn't know what to do. I spoke back with the private doctor, and I just felt like the outcome was more about gaining money and not actually about like looking after like a new patient and their symptoms. And then speaking to my GP, obviously he's just a general practitioner. He doesn't know about like neurology, and so he couldn't really help. And so I kind of had to do a lot of soul searching, and I just felt like a lot of doors were slammed in my face, and it was really difficult. And obviously, like, you're going through a relapse, stress is like a massive cause of relapses occurring and like continuing to get worse. So I, had to sort of take it into my own hands. And luckily, a mutual friend of mine, she also has MS and is within the area. She actually gave me a number of the local MS nurses. So I got in touch with her and I said, look, I really need a hand. Do you mind And initially she was kind of reluctant because I wasn't signed up to their, you know, their area. I wasn't known. She kind of didn't know, and I was in such a bad way. I was kind of almost begging her to take me on. And that doesn't, and to be honest with you, I'm really glad that I did, because I got in touch with her. She was right on it. You know, she spoke to the neurologist, and she was able to sort me out around a steroid. She was able to put me on pain relief, and she was able to sort of like start my treatment. So I'm on no, I'm not on that. I never. That's the one. So I'm on that. So it's an infusion once a month. And I've had 2 rounds of it. And I think so far so good. I mean, you have your good days, you have your bad days. Coronavirus, I feel like, has been a blessing in disguise in some ways. You know, it's awful what's going on. Like, I'm trying to keep safe and away from people, but at the same time, you know, I have had the opportunity to rest, I've had the opportunity to be at home and not be able to, you know, traveling to and fro from work, because my work can be sometimes like that. So it's been great to have the opportunity to, you know, not go anywhere and do anything. So I'm really happy with that. But there are, you know, negatives that have happened throughout the way, but I feel like the positives sort of outweigh the negatives completely.